Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 90, Chapter 90 of Interrogations and Yet Another Hospital. Fatcom's still finishing at his scene, but he said we should find his sidekicks here. Night-Eye talks as he leads them through the hero ward. The hero must know where he's going, because he doesn't stop to ask directions. They enter the hero ward and make a few random turns until they reach what Izuku assumes is the right hallway. Kirishima. His friend is sitting against the wall near the end of the hallway. He doesn't look up at Izuku's call. He pushes past Night-Eye and is by his friend's side in a matter of seconds. He puts a hand on Kirishima's shoulder and the boy flinches, tensing up. Kirishima, are you okay? His friend doesn't hesitate before answering. I'm fine. Izuku eyes him, gaze drawn to where his friend holds his arm against his side. You're bleeding. Why haven't you been checked out? Kirishima looks at the door before answering. I'm waiting for Sun Eater. Didn't want to leave him. Izuku carefully pulls Kirishima's hand from his side to assess the damage. There's a few deeper cuts that he guessed will need stitches. What happened? Is he okay? Mirio-senpai crouches down beside Izuku as he speaks. Izuku can tell how worried he is, but he's patient while Kirishima works up the energy to speak. He got hit by a quirk erasing bullet? I don't know what. Kirishima cuts himself off with a whine when Izuku presses his hands tightly to his side to scrooge the blood. What can you tell me about the bullet? Night-Eye is by their side as soon as it's mentioned. Kirishima is crowded against the wall now, and Izuku can tell he's uncomfortable with all the attention. Sir Night-Eye, maybe we could wait until after Kirishima's checked out to ask. Night-Eye sighs, long and heavy. The hero takes a minute to check out his friend before answering. His gaze travels from Kirishima's pale, exhausted face to all the cuts on his torso before coming to a decision. Fine. He doesn't seem happy about it, but Kirishima looks relieved. Izuku wraps his free arm around his friend's waist and helps him stand, grabbing his discarded shoulder, gearing on the way. He wobbles a little, and Izuku's careful not to let go. Wait, what about Sun Eater? Kirishima tries to pull away, but it's no use. Relax, Riot. I'll wait for him here. Mirio-senpai gives Kirishima an awkward pat in the head, crushing the remnant spikes, and turns back to the doors. Sir Night-Eye leads the way, setting a surprisingly slow pace. They make it to the nurse's station quickly enough, and once Night-Eye gestures to the hero in training, they immediately let to a private room. Izuku expected Night-Eye to wait outside. He doesn't know Kirishima, hardly knows him, so he's absolutely no reason to stay in the small examination room with them. But he does. The hero occupies the stolen chair in the room, leaving Izuku to hop on the table next to his friend. We're not supposed to leave Hero Course students alone outside of the school, especially since you, Janus, seem to be a target of the League. Sir answers his question before Izuku even has to pose it. Things move quickly into the hero ward, so they don't have to wait very long for a doctor to show up. Izuku was right. Kirishima needed stitches for a couple of his wounds, some of them still sluggishly bleeding. The doctor takes a few minutes to set up, before asking Izuku to move off to the side and getting Kirishima to lay down. The second the needle touches his skin, Kirishima's quirk activates, and the tool snaps. Sorry, His friend is cut off by the doctor laughing. It's fine, kid. Just relax a little. This type of quirk response is completely normal. In fact, we carry tools just for this. The doctor turns back to the station and pulls out what looks to be a quirk-canceling bracelet. He moves the slider on Kirishima's wrist, but Night-Eye clears his throat and stands, drawing the doctor's attention. You mind if I look at that? It's posed as a question, but Izuku can tell that it really isn't. Not at all. The doctor gives Izuku and Kirishima a smile as he hands over the cuff. Night-Eye takes a few minutes to inspect it, deeming it safe before he hands it back to the doctor with a nod. The procedure continues without another issue. Kirishima shuts his eyes halfway through, and Izuku would think he's asleep if it wasn't for the tenseness of his body. As soon as he's done with the stitches, the doctor pulls the quirk-canceling bracelet off his friend and gets him to sit back up. I've got other patients to attend to, but a nurse will be in here momentarily to wrap that up. The doctor leaves with a kind smile to all three of them. It really is only a moment before a nurse walks in. She does her job effectively, wrapping up Kirishima's torso and cleaning up after the doctor. Can I call anyone for you, dearest? Your parents? Kirishima freezes. Izuku can see him trying to work out a response. He even opens his mouth a few times, but nothing comes out. It's fine. We have to go back to school after this. Izuku answers for him, and Kirishima gives him a grateful smile when the nurse leaves the room. Ever the serious person, Night-Eye doesn't give them any time before beginning his interrogation. What can you tell me about the drug? Night-Eye doesn't move for his chair. Which one? The hero has a very good poker face, but his eyes widen at Kirishima's question. What do you mean, which one? Kirishima gives him a confused look before answering. Well, there was the quirk erasing one that hit Sun Eater with, and then the quirk amplifying one he used on himself. Night-Eye straightens his face out, and the only trace of motion there is the crease in his eyebrows. Both, then. I don't know too much. The quirk erasing one was shot from a gun. It didn't pierce my quirk when it hit me, so it can't just push through them. Night-Eye, not getting anything else about it, speaks up again. I see. And the other one? Before he used it, his quirk had no effect on my hardening. It just bounced off. But then he pulled out a syringe and stabbed himself. Right away, he broke through my quirk. Kirishima falls silent again, and Izuku knows there's no more to it. There's no way there would be such little damage if the man truly broke through his friend's quirk. Kirishima obviously put up a fight, and it was one that he won. All right, I have to make a call. I'll be right outside the door. Night-Eye steps out, leaving the two of them alone. Izuku retakes a seat next to Kirishima before speaking. You haven't told her yet, have you? A shake of the head. Why not? Kirishima remains silent, and Izuku realizes just how insensitive his question is. Sorry, you don't have to answer that. It's fine, I was just thinking. Kirishima is quick to turn to him. I'm just worried about how she'll take it. I'll definitely tell her before we go back home, but I'm still not ready yet. Izuku places a comforting hand on his shoulder before giving his answer. I think that's okay. You should wait until you're really ready to tell her. Nothing about what you've gone through is easy. You deserve the time to prepare. Kirishima relaxes at his words. Thank you, Izuku. Really. He turns his head just enough to meet Izuku's eyes, and gives him a grateful smile. Izuku's phone rings, startling them both. It's the ringtone he set for his dad. Sorry, it's Dad. I've got to answer this. Kirishima deflates a little when Izuku hops off the bed. Izuku, where are you? His dad speaks the moment he presses the phone to his ear. I'm at the hospital. There's a sharp intake of breath from the other end. Izuku definitely could have phrased that better. What happened? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. We came to speak with Thackum's agency. They had a run-in with a part of Night-Eye's investigation and... Thackum's. Is Kirishima there? I haven't been able to get a hold of him, and the agency said they were still out. Why would his dad be looking for Kirishima? Yes? Izuku turns back to his friend, but his gaze catches on the window instead. It's dark. Very dark. Way past the time they were supposed to be back at school dark. Is he hurt then? Unless Sun Eater or Thackum got hurt. There's no reason for him to be there. He's fine, Dad. A little bandaged up, but fine. There's a heavy sigh on the other end. Okay. I can't just leave your classmates to pick you up, but I'll send Sashi instead. He just finished his radio show, and we'll be heading back to school soon. That sounds good. We'll just wait here then. Okay. I love you. Love you too, Dad. Izuku hangs up and turns back to his friend with a smile. Kirishima carries the same look from before, staring off into the space. Izuku steps back up into the table, ready to continue the conversation. He wants to ask how Kirishima ended up beating the villain, but the door opens up behind them. Night Eye steps in, followed quickly by Mirio-senpai. I've gotta head back to the agency, and Fat Gum got held up. The million will stay with you until your ride gets here. The hero gives them no chance to reply before he walks back out the door. Tamaki-senpai? Kirishima is looking at Mirio-senpai with a desperate look on his face. He'll be fine. Looks like it's not permanent, but they just want to keep him overnight for observations. I'll be staying here with him. Kirishima visibly relaxes, the rest of the tension draining out. They spend the rest of their wait in silence. Izuku feels close to drifting off to sleep when his dad opens the door. Mirio-senpai slips out the door as his dad approaches them. As soon as he's within reach, Izuku's pulled into a warm hug. You alright, baby? Izuku nods against his chest. What about you, listener? There's no vocal answer, so Izuku shifts in his dad's grip to get a look at his friend. Kirishima is averting his eyes, looking anywhere in the room but at them. Izuku can't see his face, but his body language is distinctly upset. Come here. An arm leaves his side. Izuku isn't upset about it, because it only strays far enough to pull his friend into a hug. Kirishima is tense for a moment, and he worries that they've just made things worse. But it's only a moment, and then his friend quickly relaxes into the embrace. Okay, well, I bet you Aizawa was having a whole panic moment, like, oh my god, my kid's not home, both of them are not here, what's happened, who do I need to call, what person am I going to, report this to, who am I going to, like, what depths of hell do I need to go through, like, all that stuff, right? Just like, alright, what do I need to do? What am I gonna do? We loved Aizawa. We love Aizawa being a dad. Is Mirio and Tamaki a thing in this fic? I don't know. Maybe? I'm gonna headcanon that now. They're a thing. They're a thing. They're a thing. I love that ship so much. It was like a ship that I absolutely loved, right? I love the Sunshine character Moon character type type of ships. Clearly, I mean, I love Eraser Mike, and then I love Izuku X Hitoshi and Izuku X. Well, Bakugou wouldn't be a moon. No, Bakugou wouldn't be a moon. I don't know what Bakugou would be. Another sun? But he's not a sun in the sense of, sunshines and rainbows. He's a sun in the sense of literal heat, in the sense of, like, the sun's power, not the sun's effect on people? Does that make sense? No, it does not. I hope that made sense. Okay. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord servers and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.